All right, let's do this. This is our last assignment for chapter 2. The point 2132 is on the line with the slope 1.5. Write an equation of the line. So this is actually a good start because we have a point and we have a slope already. So we just need to go ahead and find the slope-intercept equation. So we're going to start with writing y equals mx plus b 2 times. Right? So let's start with y equals mx plus b. And you're going to go ahead and do it y equals mx plus b again a second time. So first, we're going to go y equals mx plus b. So this is part A. And we're going to write again y equals mx plus b. This is where our solution is going to go. So the very first that we see is that we have a slope, which is the m of 1.5. So we're going to put 1.5 right here. And we're going to put in the x, and we're going to put in the y value. So the x is the 21, and the y value is the 32. So put 21 right here, and 32 right here. And we're going to go ahead and solve for our b. So first we have to go 1.5 times 21. So if you have a calculator, use it. If not, you can wait for me. Okay, that's going to be 31.5, 31 and a half. So 1.5 times 21 is 31.5 plus b, right, equals 32. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try to finish off by subtracting 31.5. This is going to cancel. And going to be 32 minus 31.5. If you don't know, use a calculator. Right? But again, I know this one. So the answer is going to be just 0.5 or 0.5. That's going to equal to b because everything cancels out and b is the only thing that's left. Right? So that's what we're going to use for b. So it's going to be plus 0.5 because that's what b is. The m is going to be 1.5 like how we started off with. So our equation is going to be y equals 1.5x plus 0.5, and that's going to be our answer. Okay. Oh, part B. What are the coordinates of another point on the line? So if we have this equation, so part B, all we have to do is use that equation, y equals 1.5x plus 0.5, and we just have to put in any number we want for the x, and that'll get us a y. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. Easiest number to put in for x is 0. Because 0 times anything makes 0, which means you basically just kind of wipe it out. So if x is 0, right? So when x is 0, y is going to be 0.5. Right? So that's one of the answers. Okay, another one. Another one is if you have let's just say, so that's one answer. Another one is if you have, let's put in 1, right? So when x is 1, right, 1 times 1.5 is 1.5, right? Because 1 times 1.5 is just 1.5, and then 1.5 plus 0.5, so write it down. 1.5, right, times 1 makes 1.5, so, and then plus 0.5. So think about it as $1.50 plus 50 cents. And that makes $2. So the other point is 1,2. So there's already 2 points, right? So utilizing just different values, you can put in different x values. So like I did the first time, I put 0 in, and I get 0.5 left over. Second time, I put in 1, and I get 2. Okay, so that's the coordinates of another point. Okay, actually, I got 2 more points. Okay, on the right, on the graph at the right, compare the age of the numbers of pets for a certain population. Okay, so kind of looking at this. So we're saying somebody that's 20 years old, right? Age 20 years old has 1 pet, right? But somebody at 19 has 2 pets, right? Somebody at 25 has 2 pets also, right? So all these dots represent the age of the people along with how old they are. And you look at this, I mean, it's all over the place, right? It doesn't, it doesn't go in a line or anything. If it went in a line, you would kind of see it, right? For example, if it was kind of like in a line, you would see something like this, maybe like that, like that, like that. So you saw something like that, then yeah, I mean, it looks like there's a correlation. The older you are, the more pets you have, but it's none of that. Okay, so describe the association. Well, this one, if I had to say anything, I would say that there is no association between the age of the owner and how, or the number, or how many pets they own. Okay. Write the equation for the line containing the points listed on the table below. Okay, this is what we're actually doing today. So you need to pick any 2 points, and I would suggest look for easy points, easy numbers for you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to choose 116 and 330. So I'm going to choose 1, 16. I'm going to choose 3, 30. First, I'm going to find the slope. So the slope is I need to find the difference between the y's. So 30 take away 16 in that order. So 30 take away 16, and I'm going to divide it by 3 take away 1. Okay, so 30 take away 16 is 14. And 3 take away 1 is 2. Okay, so 14 over 2, but you can do better. You can make that into 7. Okay, so that's my slope. And now I'm going to pick a point for me to use. Okay, I'm going to do the double y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to write one time. Y equals mx plus b. And write it a second time. Y equals mx plus b. Okay. First time, I'm going to plug in all the numbers I know. And I know that m is 7. So I'm going to write in 7 right here. And I'm pick a point. I think I'm going to use 1 and 16. Okay. So x would be 1. Y would be 16. Right. And I need to find b. Okay. So do the math. All right. So copy down what you know. 16 equals 7 times 1 is 7 plus b. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and take away 7. Okay. 16 minus 7. What's that? 9. That's going to equal to my b. Okay, that 9, I'm going to put it right here where the b is. So that's going to be plus 9. Okay, the rest of it, I'm going to go ahead and utilize my slope and just write down the x and y as is. So my equation, y equals the m right here. The slope is the 7. Okay, that's what m is. So y equals 7x plus 9. And that is my answer. Okay, that is my answer. Oh, sorry. One more below. If you're traveling at a speed of 50 miles per hour, so I'm going to write that down. 50 miles, and that means 50 miles in 1 hour. Okay. How many feet per second is this? Right. So we can do something like a little quick conversion. So how many feet per second is this? So let's convert the miles to seconds, right? So, or excuse me, the the hours to seconds, right? So hours. So think about how many hours in a second. And if you don't know what it is, what's the next smallest thing to do? How many hours are there in a minute, right? So again, how many hours are there in a minute, right? Okay. We know that there's 1 hour, right? And we wanted to put the hours on top of each other. So we know 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay. And that's the same thing. 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. Right now, we want to go to second, right? We want to turn hours into seconds. So now we got to turn the minutes. So let's figure out, right? Minutes into second. Think about how many minutes is in a second, or how many seconds is in a minute, right? So try to get a comparison between the two. All right. So find out how many how many minutes are there in seconds, or how many seconds are there in a minute. So you might have said, hey, you know what? There's 1 minute in 60 seconds. Okay. And by doing this, we have eliminated the hour term, and we have eliminated the minute term. So now we have miles per second. And to do that, we have to divide it by 60 and divide it by 60 again. Okay. Now here's the hard part is how many feet are there in a mile? Or maybe go backwards, right? How many miles is in a feet? That's probably the better, right? So, and if you have Google or you want to look it up, you can always look it up. But that miles, see how the miles is on top? Oops. Yeah, we want the miles to be on the bottom. So I just looked it up really quick, and I learned that 1 mile is going to be equal to 5,280 feet. Okay. And look, my miles is on top. It's going to cancel with my miles on the bottom. All right. So what kind of math am I doing? So I have to go 50 times 1, that's just 50, times 1, which is still 50, times 5,280. So it's 50 times 5,280. So you get a calculator or whatever you need to do this. I'm going to use a calculator. 50 times 5,280. That's going to give me 264,000. Okay, and see all these things cancel out. So this would be feet. And on the bottom, what do we have? We have 1 times 60 times 60 times 1 second, right? Because that's what's left. So all we have is 1 times 60 and then 1 times 60. So basically 60 times 60. So with your calculator or whatever you need, 60 times 60. Okay. And some of you guys know what 6 times 6 is. It's going to be very, very similar. So that's going to be 3,600. And you can just divide these two. So 50 miles per hour turns into, okay, and you can probably even do some math by hand, like cross these out, right? Oh, not that one. Just these two. So you can even do 2,640 divided by 36. That gets me 73.33 forever feet per second. Okay, that's my answer. So 73.3333, or 73 and 1/3. If you want to write it more exactly, it's 73 and 1/3 feet per second.